G'day, welcome one and all to another installment of Guvs Hero and Impression Review videos. This time we are going to continue in our High Noon series, taking a look at the 5-star purple legendary heroine, Marigold, who is the Perilous Diva. Now, Marigold is available for summons only during the High Noon Challenge event portal, which comes around once every 16 weeks, because it is on rotation with the other 3 challenge events, and they only appear once every 4 weeks. So 1 in 4 of 1 in 4 makes it once every 16 weeks. You can also collect a copy of Marigold by placing first in the legendary tier of the challenge event as a event winning reward. However, this is obviously very difficult to do, so most people are more likely to summon her from the portal than they are to win the challenge event. Marigold has been around for quite a long time. She was introduced alongside Cooper and Vasquez in the very first appearance of the High Noon Challenge event back in February 2020. Having a look at her hero art, we'll just pull up my copy. So there is a lot of those plays on that old saloon girl, madame, painted lady kind of thing from the Wild West 1800, 1900 era. So, you know, she's got the ruffles, she's got the painting, like the perfect flawless face, and she's got a little gun that you'd be able to hide in other places. And yeah, as I said, all the ruffles, and it doesn't look like she's too concerned about being a bit scandalous. So yeah, Perilous Diva Marigold. Heading back to her card, we'll take a look at her family. So she is a member of the High Noon family, which means that Marigold does have a 10% chance to trigger the Duel at Dawn bonus, which when triggered will deal 150% damage to all enemies who have an inaccuracy ailment, and will also apply a minus 44% accuracy debuff, or an accuracy ailment, to all enemies for 3 turns. There is also a passive stat bonus for having multiple unique heroes from the family in a battle, so this grants a 2, 4, 6 or 8% attack for having 2, 3, 4 or 5 unique High Noon heroes. Note that they have to be unique. You can't bring along 2 copies of Marigold. It's got to be 2 different heroes, like Marigold and Cooper, for example. In terms of her base attack stats, Marigold is a much older hero, so she does have quite a lower net total base stats, which is represented by her power contribution. So she does have 668 attack, 670 defense, and 1479 HP. So there is a little bit of skewing towards that HP stat, but the attack and defense stats are pretty well balanced. They're almost exactly the same. Her charge speed is set very, very high. It is at 68 fast, which requires just 8 tiles. Sorry, it's not very, very fast. It's just fast. It does require 8 tiles to charge, or 4 ghosted tiles, so it's the faster bracket of fast. In order to speed break her, it does need to be a +4, which can be done using either of the 2 5-star purple speed guns. So the Perla Scale Convex gives +6 and the Explosion gives +9. In order to achieve a double speed break, you need to get to +10 speed, which can only be achieved using the +9 Explosion B90, as well as also picking up the 2% speed bonus on her class tree at node 8. So you can double break her, but you do need both the class talent and also the +9 speed weapon. Segueing from that, her class is set to being a sharpshooter hero. So this means that she does have the chance to bypass all defensive buffs, including counterattack, on the target enemy hero. This is a very useful talent by negating the buffs which affect the damage output from a special skill and tiles. It is especially useful on snipers, who their entire damage is basically on the one hero, so being able to pierce that or bypass it is actually very, very useful. It is only a chance, so I personally don't bank on it going around killing enemies who have counterattack buff up, because you're still more than likely going to cop all the return damage, but it does grant you the opportunity, if you've got no other options, to do a Hail Mary shot. By way of an emblem path, I'll just pull up my Marigold because I have got emblems on her. So I do recommend going an attack route on her skill. So I've gone attack on each node, and you pick up defense and HP nodes as you go at the same time. So you do get a little bit of that equal improvement on her defense and HP stats. You can see there I did stop at +18, I didn't go any further than that, and I also went right at node 8 to pick up that 2% speed node. There is a very good argument that you can make towards going defense and HP to increase her overall survivability, which will not improve necessarily her attack output, but it will increase her opportunity to apply the purple debuff. That it is an equally great argument. I just went the attack route just to improve her, because I mostly use her on war machines, where going for that extra defense and HP, it's not going to improve her to taking 2 shots. She's still going to die in 2 shots from that war machine. So I just went with attack to improve the tile output on mine. Heading back to her hero card and taking a look at her special skill. So her special skill is titled Pepper Box Surprise, and at level 10 skill and 68 charge speed will deal 210% damage to the target, apply a minus 48% against purple debuff to the target for 3 turns, and apply a minus 38% accuracy debuff to the target for 3 turns. There was a time long ago when Marigold had some extra skills in her ability. She actually also applied a charge cut, and she might have even done it to target in nearby, but she has lost all of that. She did get a nerf a long time ago because apparently she was too powerful, but she's now been sort of outclassed by a lot of the new heroes. So was the nerf really necessary? Probably not. Anyway, having a look at that special skill that she does have as of right now and breaking it down a little more, we'll start off with the attack damage, because that's probably the easiest thing to compare and look at, and it's also the first thing on her skill. So the way I compare damage output of different heroes is to look at their attack power and then their attack power per tile. So attack power is simply a metric of their attack stat multiplied by the percentage listed in their special skill. So in the case of Marigold, her attack is listed at 668 attack and her skill has 210% on it. So multiplying those together, we get an attack power of 1,403. Dividing that by the number of tiles it takes to charge her, which is 8, we get an attack power per tile of 175. This allows us to compare to other heroes who have got different charge speeds, because it normalizes it back down to the number of tiles required. So if we have a look at Marigold compared to all of the other purple snipers in the game, Marigold is dead last, and not by a tiny amount either. She is 10 points clear of the next worst hero, which is Night Owl, who does splash damage, so hits target and nearby with minor damage. So Marigold is not a great damage dealer. You can see some of the other ones. The best one available is Cruz on his base damage, coming in with an attack power of 407 per tile. If you use Flak's maximum damage, he is 526. If you get the bonus shot from Cruz, it goes up to 815. Some other ones that are in there, you've got Quattro from Mechanoids. He comes in at 299 with 328 with his bonus damage. Siegfried comes in at 243. Sure Shot, who's the vanilla purple hero, comes in at 268. So there are a lot of options. There's 15 purple snipers, and Marigold is the worst one. So a lot of that comes from her low base attack stat. She was already reasonably low. It wasn't skewed towards her attack stat. And then all of these more recent heroes, they've just had higher and higher and higher and higher base stats. So she's been left further and further behind, being really a victim of power creep compared to those new release. So realistically though, for me, the reduced damage is okay, because we'll go on and we'll highlight the main aspect of her special skill, which comes in that second line. So this is the defense debuff against purple of minus 48% that she gives to the target. So Elemental debuff is, for me, the greatest ailment you can apply to enemies, as it improves your entire color stack. So this is particularly beneficial on war machine hits, and she should absolutely be a staple consideration in any purple war machine team you're building against yellow war machines. If you can build EDD into your team for war machines, do it. The downside for Marigold compared to some of the other elemental defense down EDD heroes is that she only applies to the target, which does reduce her usefulness in raiding. But even then, on one enemy, it still is a great 1-2 punch combination with a purple sniper like Flak or Quattro. It basically guarantees you got a kill shot on them because of that increased defense. At her elevated speed as well, she is quite fast, so it's not unreasonable that you're going to be applying that skill multiple times and hitting multiple enemies in the raid tier. But yeah, it is the only downside to it, is that she is only on one enemy. The third line of her special skill is an accuracy debuff. Minus 38% is pretty standard for most of the blind ailments. The benefit for this, though, is the synergy it has with the family bonus. So that Duel at Dawn applies the 150% damage to anyone that's got an accuracy debuff already. Because of the way they do order of battle, basically the Duel at Dawn triggers after her special skill is executed. So essentially she applies the blind element, and then if it's successful, the Duel at Dawn will then do 150% damage to that target. Again, she is reasonably quick, so you could theoretically charge her skill again, fire it, and have 2 procs of the Duel at Dawn back to back, which will deal the 150% damage to all enemies. So personally, as much as Marigold has been left behind by the power creep, I do actually still like her a lot. I've done some recent videos showing her effectiveness with an off-color hitter combination with another sniper. I think look for the video on my channel called The Emerald Experiment Part 2. This showcases her combined with Quattro, and it deals quite a lot of damage, that pairing. I particularly love Marigold for War Machine hits. There is a better option out there in the form of Undertaker, but if you don't have Undertaker, Marigold's 100% worth leveling, using in wars, raids, and very much so in War Machines. The unfortunate thing though is the reality of that power creep, where new heroes just have a lot higher base stats, and as a result, she does lose a bit of her luster against some of those heroes, but she has Elemental Defense down, which is, like, as I've said, king of status elements that you can give out. I also mentioned that there was a previous version of Marigold which was nerfed, where she dealt a 20% charge cut, but that version is gone. If that was still on her, it would make her, like, up there arguably with the A tier heroes available in the game for attack. So bearing all of that in mind, for Marigold's grading, I rate her as being a B+ for war and raid attacks, just because even though she's not the greatest damage dealer, she still has a lot of great synergy with other damage dealers. For War Machines, that comes up to an A grade. Elemental Defense down, perfect for War Machines. Events, all the way down to a C-, just because she's got low attack stats. She's only hitting 1 enemy, so she's not really contributing much in terms of event competition. For War and Raid Defense, I am going to drop her to a D+. She doesn't really do much towards a defensive hero. She's got low base attack stats. Her health isn't fantastic. You could function her as a wing hero, but that damage output isn't great, so you'd really need some smart targeting to have her fire and then follow up with a second purple hitter onto that same target, and the AI just doesn't do this. For tournaments, I'm going to give her a B+ and a D+ for Bloody Battle, a B+ and a D+ for Buff Booster, and a B and a D for Charged Attack. So that is a little bit down, and that's because her charge speed actually drops from 68 down to 65. So not only does she not get a improvement with the charge speed, she is actively reduced in her charge speed in that tournament format. So overall, if we factor all of that in, it does come out as getting a B+ for her overall attack grade and a D+ for her overall defense grade. So that just about concludes the content that I have for this review of Marigold. As always, this is just my personal opinion. I love hearing your thoughts and feedback on these heroes, so please jump down in the comments section in this video, drop me a note and outline what you think of Marigold and how you like to use it, if you do have a copy of her. If you found this video to be useful and enjoyed the content, like the video, subscribe to my channel, but most importantly, share the video around, because chances are if you found this video to be useful for yourself, it's also going to be useful to other people that you play with, such as your alliance mates and that. So thanks again for tuning in and joining me for this review of Marigold. I do hope you enjoyed it. Good luck with everything, happy gaming, and I will catch you guys all in the next video. Cheers, bye!